Last 4 defenses for the champ have all been by unanimous decision, but you gotta be careful hanging out in the pocket against Jacek.
Well, Rose,
Another knockdown! Rose Namajunas trying to close the show!
Hey guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today is going to be a bit different, and I'm going to go over the best exotics for each class next season, and which ones you'll definitely want to get as soon as possible. In addition, I'll be talking about mod changes and how drastically this will affect certain playstyles. But before we get into it, be sure to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. And check out my Twitch. Link is in the description below. Getting right into it, we're looking at Titan. The first major exotic change is with the exotic helmet Precious Scars. This exotic has been a bit underwhelming, only really taking effect upon reviving a teammate, but in Season 15, this exotic is getting a much needed buff. At the start of the season, Precious Scars will create a burst of healing and bonus recovery around you when you kill an enemy with a damage type matching your subclass type. So use a void weapon, you have a void subclass, you get a burst of healing. Off the top of my head, I already see it having immediate potential making a tank build with something like Bottom Tree Sunbreaker and healing Warmind cells, or Middle Tree Sentinel with its passive healing and other mods, similar to the Immortal Titan build on my channel if you're interested. Unfortunately, this is really it for Titans as far as what the TWAB has told us. Icefall Mantle no longer has a scalar barricade recharge delay, but something like that isn't going to put Icefall Mantle at the top of any meta list anytime soon. Moving on to Hunter. For Hunters, they have some pretty serious changes. First off, the Bombardiers. The bomb dropped when dodging now has a unique effect on your subclass based on type. So if you have a solar subclass, you then have a bomb that has a burning effect, arc has a blinding effect, slowing effect for stasis, and suppression for void. Just saying on paper, this is absolutely insane. Blinding effects would be good in both PvP and PvE, same with suppression, although they have explicitly stated you can't suppress a super, which thank god. Plus the burn effect could have some insane synergy with Blade Barrage. We'll just have to see how adaptive and potent this change will be, but just off the top of my head, this opens so many different doors for different playstyles on the Hunter subclass. I would have loved to see something like this for Severance and Closure on Titan, but it's nice seeing a low tier exotic like the Bombardiers getting some love from the Sandbox team, as I'm pretty sure no one has ever legitimately used this. Lucky Pants are up next. As of now, they are extremely underwhelming to say the least, essentially granting a worse version of autoloading holster to hand cannons with minor benefits. But as of Season 15, these could be a top tier Hunter exotic for PvE. In the August 12th TWAB, it was stated that when a fully loaded hand cannon that deals kinetic damage or damage matching your subclass energy type, for a short time, each hit against a combatant from that hand cannon will increase the next damage of the shot. They do clarify that this won't stack with Hawkmoon, so thank god we won't be one-shotting Riven anytime soon. But it doesn't mention anything like Ariana's, Ace of Spades Memento Mori perk, or any other specific hand cannon. So if this does work, a lot of hand cannons could suddenly be seeing a lot more usage across both sandboxes. This could very well be broken if not implemented carefully for PvE. In addition, it has the new hand cannon holster mod, which is stated to reload stowed weapons over time. Overall, these changes are absolutely insane and could very well make Lucky Pants a top tier Hunter exotic. In addition, Graviton Forfeit is getting some increased invisibility duration along with melee, energy, and recovery buffs, but nothing too substantial, and honestly, with these two exotic buffs already, Hunters are definitely getting a lot of love next season. Moving on to Warlocks. The Stag has been kind of a meme exotic for some time, but now has some decent effects for both PvP and PvE. When standing in a rift, both you and your allies now have a 25% damage reduction in PvE and a 15% damage reduction in PvP. This on paper sounds insanely good, especially when you consider something like this can be combined with the already existing healing and empowering rift effects. Overall, I'm excited to see how well this will actually cause this exotic to perform in PvP and PvE. Off the top of my head, I'm going to have to do a lot of damage calculations for stuff like PvP, living certain headshots versus body shots, exotic kill ranges, etc., based on this reduction. This could absolutely be something you see in trials and be pretty annoying to deal against. Prometheum Spur is another underused exotic due to its niche effect that was honestly lacking in potency and overall use. But next season, while standing in your rifts, solar weapon kills give you back class energy. Although we don't know how much of it offers or if it differs from PvE to PvP. In addition, when your class energy is full, solar weapon kills now consume that energy and will spawn a healing/empowering rift combo at the target's location. overall making the main function of this exotic more accessible to players, as before it was only used in the super. It now has a place outside of your super in your overall neutral game. Storm Dancer's Brace is going to be meta next season. I'm already calling it. At the start of Season 15, it will now grant you up to 50% of your super energy based on the number of kills you get during your super, which will be fairly easy as the already existing perk increases your super damage as you use it. If we get any arc-specific mods like with past artifacts, this could be absolutely insane. Overall, Warlocks have a lot of rift changes for their gameplay. I don't know if that'll be enough for players to build their playstyle around sitting in wells, especially for PvP, but the damage reduction from the stag might just be enough for players to break out their sleeping bags and start camping. Storm Dancers, though, is something to watch out for, and if you don't have any of these exotics yet, be sure to get them this weekend. If you don't know, essentially all super regenerating exotics are getting a pretty decent hit. Shards of Galanor is now capped at 50%, Ursa's 50%, Skull of Darham Kara and Phoenix Protocol are both now capped at 50%. Storm Dancers is the new super regen, also capped at 50%. Geomags is now getting its sprint to top off your super perk removed, which thank God, because getting your Chaos Reach 7 times in a Trials match was somewhat annoying and kind of broken if you ask me. Onto the mods. Summed up, ammo finders have an increased spawn chance, especially with exotic primaries. Scavengers no longer stack, and the new holster mod grants auto-loading holster to all weapons above 1 mag size, so this excludes rocket launchers, breech-loaded grenade launchers, and bows. Just a quick note though, in the most recent TWAB as of the 19th, Bungie has stated that all primary weapons will now have infinite ammo, so I'm not really sure how the previously mentioned primary ammo finder changes will actually occur. We'll have to wait and see for the start of next season. Onto the sad part, and the part that we all knew was coming. Warmind cells are getting quite the nerf next season, and it could be pretty hard. Only after testing will we know how badly they're all hit, but it mainly targets solar Warmind cells, but it does affect every Warmind cell. The base Warmind cell explosion and effect has been dropped by 4 meters, and its damage has been cut from 200 to 400 down to 50 to 250. Global Reach now costs 3 energy instead of 1, and its range effect has been cut in half. Wrath of Rasputin now does 25 to 100 damage of a solar explosion, when it used to be 100 to 200. And Cellular Suppression, one of the best Void Warmind build mods in the game, now only lasts from 2 seconds down from 3. Overall, this hits every Warmind cell build except for Arc builds pretty hard, as Arc builds really rely on actually coming into contact and absorbing that Warmind cell rather than detonating it or simply keeping it out there for its effect to be used multiple times. I still think Warminds are going to be strong, including these solar builds, but the days of hitting majors across the map with a Warmind cell explosion are long gone. The change to Global Reach is honestly something that needed to be done, as a 1 energy mod granting 20 plus meters of range to every Warmind cell was kind of nuts. Maybe Grasp of the Warmind may be the way to go now, who knows. Anyway, enjoy it while you can, I know I will. Finally, we have Elemental Wells getting some much needed love. Elemental Armaments now has an increased chance of spawning a well based on the tier of enemy defeated, which depending on how severe the change is, could create a much more reliable way of spawning wells for PvE. This is something that was desperately needed, as wells simply were too hard to come across or had very specific requirements to actually spawning, so having this change is a very welcome one. In addition, Font of Might, possibly the worst well mod in existence, is finally being made usable. Now instead of 5 seconds of a 10% buff, we will be getting 10 seconds of a 25% buff for your specific weapon type. Thank God for this, because when it first came out, it was incredibly disappointing. This flat out lost to every other mod in the game that granted weapon buffs such as High Energy Fire or other specific weapon mods like Lucent Blade that either had more potent buff for specific instances or just more forgiveness, such as, not having a 5-second time restraint for a mere 10% buff. We're definitely going to be having some well builds next season with this, as this could put Font of Might in direct competition with something like High Energy Fire. But that's all for today, guys. The new season's right around the corner, and overall, I couldn't be more excited. These changes are all pretty well deserved. Yes, even with Warmind cells, I think we can all agree they were absolutely broken in certain instances. I already have half a dozen builds in mind for next season, especially with Warlock and Hunter changes, and a bit of a revamp for some certain Titan builds. But if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, like the video down below, share with a friend if you think they'd like something like this, and let me know what content you'd like to see in Season 15. Also, I started a Twitch, link is in the description. I have a few streams planned out and would love to see you guys there. But all in all, thanks for watching, and have a good one.